Hey, welcome back to the channel. So that's how you do that. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Joe Latender, and I just want to welcome you. Glad to have you here. My channel is pretty much everything vinyl plank, laminate, tile. There's a video here for you somewhere. But anyway, glad to have you here. Now, today's video, we're going to talk about tools. Now, for vinyl plank or laminate or even a wood installation, most of the tools that you're going to need, you're going to have. Okay, there are a few specialty tools, and that's what this video is all about, showing you the different tools that you're gonna need, some of them of which you don't have, that you should get to make your vinyl plank or laminate installation go a lot easier for you. There are some specialty tools that are really important to have, and I'm gonna go through all of these tools with you in this video, and I'm gonna share a lot of different examples on how to use those tools so that you know exactly how to use them and how this is gonna save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration. I'm also going to share some floor prep stuff with you in this video where I talk to you about which floor prep or which floor fill you should use, how to mix it, how to use it. I'll even show you some different tools, some really easy methods to be able to get through some floor prep, because that is really a big deal with vinyl plank and with laminate, to have a good solid foundation that you're going to go off of. Well, we might as well get going. So here, let's watch. Now the next thing that I do is I just put my hand underneath it and my thumb on it. I'm lifting it up at an angle, putting pressure on my thumb to push this down. Just a little bit of an angle. I'm going to try to close this part up. Now I still have this left. Now I got this at an angle. I have this in. See how it all just dropped down? Now when you're using the plank hammer, you want to keep one end up against the plank and just bring it in and swing it. Now going backwards, you can just hold up here, keep that corner. If you do it like that, you're not going to damage the plank. You can do it like this, but you want to make sure you're not coming in at an angle, you're coming straight with it. So this will be a part I'll cut out. Now how I'm going to make this what I call a cheater board is I am going to cut off some of this locking system right here on the groove side. The tongue side is right here, it barely sticks out. The groove side sticks out a lot farther. It's that bottom part of the groove. So we can modify this a little bit. I'm going to show you what we're going to do there. So this is something that you can play around with. I just cut a little bit off. I still have some of it on there. The more you take off, the smaller your expansion joint will be. The more you leave on, the bigger your expansion joint will be. So I'm just using a jigsaw blade, and you can see it makes a nice clean cut. Just a general purpose jigsaw blade, nothing special. about 13 and a 16th, so I'll just keep measuring down, getting this straight, and then I'm gonna stick a spacer in here. And I just want to keep putting spacers in as much as I can all the way down. I also want to support right here. The reason why I prefer this spacer over any other is because it sits flat. It's not going to tip over. It's nice and solid. And it adjusts. So if you have an expansion joint that's an 1/8 inch, a 1/4 inch, 3/16, 1/2 inch, whatever it is, this thing is going to accommodate that. It's customizable. And if you have crooked cuts, wavy walls, you have to be perfect to use those spacers that are all one size. And what I really like is that it adjusts back and forth just by turning that wheel. So it's so quick to use it, they're nice. So I'm not gonna try to hook in the butt joint, because all I'm gonna do is try to hook the long joint in. So I'm gonna bring it down as far as I can, and then I'm gonna start working on getting the rest of this plank in. And I'm gonna use the plank puller to help me get it locked in. Hear that click? It dropped straight down nice and flat now. Now, I wanna make sure I cleared the locking system there. Now I just take a piece that has the locking system on it, I hook it in right here, I take the plank puller, and now I'm going to hit this way. Sometimes it's easier just to put a joint in the doorway, but we're going to do that without. I'm just going to lift up a little. And I'm going to hit it up here where it's more solid to get that in first. And then just start lightly tapping back here. Now, because this is loose and it's not secure, we can have a little struggle here to do this. You can also add these in before you do that tapping, but I'm going to stick a spacer in here, and now you can see that that's nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. Into place right here. Right before I get to the jamb, I'm going to drop it down. I'm going to lock it using my plank hammer. Now I'm going to attach a scrap piece right here and then just knock it that way until it gets underneath. So that's locked in. Now I can lift up, get my hand under there, and start working this in with the plank hammer. I put a scrap piece on here, I'm getting my fingers under a little bit, I'm pressing down right here so that it's going to go into the locking system, and now I'm going to hit it. You can see all that locked in now. It's really sometimes hard to get the tapping block in there with the plank hammer. You can just tip it over on its side. The handle allows you to get in there and get some good leverage to be able to put that second to last row in. Really works pretty slick to do that. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I wanna make sure that this row doesn't slide that way too much. So I'm gonna shove a spacer in there. Now for this, I'm not gonna hook up the butt joint right here. I'm just gonna let this flop right in. Then I'm going to take my pull bar, my plank puller, and use the pry bar end to just push it this way and just lock it in then. Now this isn't an ordinary tape measure. This is a customizable tape measure to your size plank. So this tape comes blank. It's like a story pole, and you make the marks where your plank ends. This is 25 feet long. I have 25 feet of my plank size on here. So I can very easily go around and see how large of a piece I'm gonna have, how big or small along walls, where the plank is gonna land in doorways. Very easy to use this. You can see right here, I would be coming into this wall about an inch. So I would have about this big of a piece from here to here, a full piece on the other wall. You can see right here, if you follow this line right here, you can see that it's barely making the door jamb there. I'm not liking that. I'd probably want to push the plank that way a little bit. Okay, so you can see that I'm just barely gonna make that. I'm like a 1/2 inch short. I want to try to get rid of this 1/2 inch piece in the bathroom, or yeah, in the bathroom along the wall. So I kind of need to move it this way about 2 inches, at least, maybe 1.5 inches. But if I do that, then we're talking about this wall in here that I know that we only have like a 1/2 inch coming into this wall too. So if I push it that way, now we only have a 2 inch piece along this wall. Which makes me think that, okay, so I have a full plank that's 6 inches along that wall. If I split the difference and go 3 inches, that gives me a little bit bigger of a piece along this wall, close to 3 inches. I also would still make it in this doorway, and that would give me a 3.5 inch piece inside the bathroom along that wall. So I like that, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna move this first line here, the 3.5 inches, and then we're gonna start measuring into some of these other rooms to see how big of a piece we're gonna have and where the plank is gonna fall. Push it that way, you can see I'm gonna be like almost a full piece right here. It's gonna give me a pretty small piece right here, but it's only a 2-foot section. So this is gonna have a good healthy piece. So that's good, because that means that every room in this house that shares this exterior wall, which there's 2 other bedrooms that do, it's gonna have that same piece. So you've been seeing me use this tool quite a bit in this video. Now this is what I call the plank hammer. It's a tapping block. This is one that I designed. It has a handle on it that I like because you're able to move your hand around in different spots to be able to get some finesse with this tapping block, because not all plank goes together the same, and you can use this delicately and you can also use it with some brute force. I designed this to really be DIY friendly, and so I wanted to share this with you. Now, a tapping block, whether it's this one or not, is really going to help you with your plank installation. It's nice because it's all in one, right? You don't have to use a separate tapping block with a dead blow hammer or a rubber mallet. It really makes it so that you can use both hands for holding the plank and also for holding your tapping block to get some finesse and put that plank together. So this is something that I would recommend, whether you buy the plank hammer or something similar to it, get yourself a tapping block. It's really going to help you so much with your vinyl plank installation. Now I'll share a link below this video that you can go and check out on my tools page. Check this out. I also have one more tool that's called the plank puller. And this is a pull bar. This is also a tool that you would need to use inside your project along walls and things like that. So check this out also. I'll leave links below for both of these. You might need to use the pull bar to do it, but I can actually do this without. And then I'm just gonna slide it till it locks. When I get down here, I'm just gonna shove this under just to give me so that I can push down right here and have it at a little bit of an angle. There we go. Start putting my spacers in. Now I know I need to go that way a little. Just so I don't go too far, I'm going to shove a spacer in there. You can kind of use that lip as your guide. Just run your knife around. It doesn't matter if you take more off or if you only take the lip off. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the lip of the locking system that I just cut off. That is what makes it so that you have to go at an angle to lock it in. Sponge with some water on it. And I'm just gonna moisten this joint all the way. Now the reason why I did that is because we're gonna use clear Gorilla Glue. It needs to be clear. If you don't use clear, it will ooze out. And you can see this is what's gonna hold the plank together instead of that little lip we cut off. Real simple to do this. Now what I need to do is take that same sponge and get the other joint wet. Now another thing I can do is I can take my knife here and just kind of put it under so it keeps it at an angle. Then I can press down here and make sure that the locking system is going to go in and just start hitting it in all the way down. Now to get all this in place, we're just going to start hitting it into the joint. And you can see with it being flat, it just closed together tight. This can get messy, so you want to use denatured alcohol. Now this is something that you can use to clean your hands off and also anything that gets on the plank. You just want to tape all of these joints and leave some blue tape on to hold that together so it doesn't come apart on you. I usually leave this on overnight. So we're going to use Ardex Feather Finish today. This is the best product out there as far as a floor patch goes. Ask any pro, they're going to tell you Ardex Feather Finish. Now, this is hard to find. You can go below, click on a link that I'll leave on the description of the video here, and you can just type in where you live, your area code, and it'll show you where you can buy this. You can't get this at the big box stores. They sell a mock-off called Henry's 549, which only comes in a 7-pound box, and it's more expensive. Same exact product, you're just gonna pay a lot more. This is probably 20 bucks. And it's not uncommon to use, more than one bag. It's not uncommon to use 4 bags, 8 bags. I've even used 20 bags on some projects, depends on how bad the floor is and how big it is. But this is a product that sticks to just about anything, super flexible, won't break out on you, won't crack, you won't ever hear any crackling or crumbling underneath your plank when you use a product like this. So be careful with what you use. You don't want to use garbage fill. You want to pay for good fill. Ardex Feather Finish. I like to mix up small batches, so I'm just going to put like an inch of water in the bottom of this bucket. Now I'm just going to grab the bag. right about here, about halfway, with my hands, just like this. And then I stopped it, and that's all the fill I'm putting in at this moment. You see all the dust? This is called the whale tail. And then hook your vacuum hose up. I want you to see what this looks like. I'm just hand mixing. You can use a drill, but I prefer to hand mix it. That's the consistency I like right there. It's a little wetter than what the bag tells you, but don't worry about it. If you mix it a little wetter, it's still gonna be good, okay? You just don't want it too thick. You wanna have fill that you can work with. You don't wanna put this down a drain, so get as much out in the trash as you possibly can, and then you can clean this off in the sink if it's the winter time for you, but if you can clean it off outside, that's best. Clean your tools off so that they're nice and clean for you for the next time. Your bucket, get that nice and clean. If it does dry on your trowel, it can scrape off. It's just a lot more difficult, pain in the butt, and you're gonna wish that you cleaned it off while it was still wet. Wash your hands real good and you'll be good to go. So what I have here is I have an existing floor that we're gonna go over the top of. There's not much of a height difference, so we're gonna float this out. So the difference here is about an 1/8 inch, so we're gonna be able to float this out no problem, and that's what we're gonna work on right now. Now, even though this is the area that I'm looking to fill, for me to bring this out here and keep it smooth and consistent the entire way, plus this way, I'm gonna actually fill along this wall. I'm gonna come down through here, and I'm also gonna feather it out past the door this way. Now, an easy way for me to show you how to do this is we're gonna break this down into notches. I'm starting with a 3/8 notch. This is a tile trowel. Then we're gonna move on to a 1/4 by 1/4 trowel. Then we're gonna move on to a 3/16. And what we're gonna do then is use a flat trowel to smooth it all out after we're done. Okay, so here's the 3/8. Flattening out right at the edge there. I'm also going to bring that 3/8 over this way. And a little bit this way. Now I'm going to start stepping it down, and I'm going to go to the 1/4 by 1/4. So that's the 1/4, 3/8. Now I'm switching to the 3/16. Down here, I want to bring it down to a 1/4. Back on the 3/16. Now I'm going to take the flat side of this trowel, which has no teeth, and I'm going to smooth all of this out. Now I'm just going to comb it. I'm not trying to make this perfect this first time because we're going to do another coat. All right, so you can see there's a lot of different tools that you probably don't have inside this video. I shared a few things with you in here. Now, if you have a lot of the basic tools like a hammer, everybody's got to have a hammer, things like that, a broom, a vacuum, you're going to be set with those things that you have, and then getting a few of these specialty tools that I've shared with you inside this video. Now, I did tell you that I do have these tools available on my website, quite a few of them, or I have links to Amazon on another part of my site. I'm going to leave links below this video to get you to all those tools so you can check them out, see if it's something that you want to invest in, really to help you get through your project a lot easier. And if you still need some more help with your project, I do want you to know that there's a few ways that you can get some help from me. And that would be through a channel membership. That's one way where I will help you. If you join, I will give you a membership to Plank Boot Camp. Now, the only support that you're going to get is if you share a drawing with me. I will go through that drawing with you and help you with some, with some questions that you will have. Also, I will help you with layout, or not layout, but I'll talk to you about where to start, plank direction, things like that. Now, I do also have this membership site that I'm talking about that's called Plank Boot Camp. And if you actually go to that site, I'll leave a link below, you can join and have a membership there where you'll even get more support. And what I'm talking about is that we will do some one-on-one coaching together. I'll go through step by step with you your project, and it will be custom installation instructions. What I mean is you'd share a drawing with me, for example, okay? I'll get that drawing, I'll go through it step by step with you from start to finish of your plank installation. And of course, any questions that you have before, during, or after your install, I'll be there to help you. So you'll have some really good one-on-one coaching from me with that. If you decide that's something that you might want to get some extra help, or if you just want to go check it out, I, again, will leave a link below this video. All right, I think that's about it. So if you don't mind, I'd like to pray. Father God, I pray for everybody who's watching here, Lord. I pray that you bless them. I pray that you shower your grace on them, Lord. And I pray that they feel your presence. I pray that you would guide them through this project or through the entire thing, the entire process. I pray that they would feel your presence, Lord. And if they don't know you, Lord, I pray that you would reach out to them and let them get to know you. Let them feel you, Lord. And I pray that they would grow into a relationship with you. I pray that you shower them with your grace. Bless them and their family, Lord. I pray for this again. And I pray for all these things in Jesus' name. All right, my friends, keep watching for the next video. I'm actually in the next video I'm going to put out, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on with me, where I've been the last 6 months. I was really sick, and I want to kind of go through that journey with you. It was right about Christmas time I got really sick, and I'm just recovering now. Still haven't gotten back on my knees to do some filming, but that's coming really soon. But I want to go through that with you and let you go on that journey with me, so I'll explain it to you. So look for that in the next video. All right, guys, have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon. Again, my name is Joe Latender. Have a great day.